Welcome to the Good Rookie Show. My name is Fahim.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all, and we are Good
That's
Rookies.
right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's the Good Rookie Show.
Yep.
Yep. What's going on, y'all? As you know, we're your hosts coming to you from Toronto, Canada, the
Mm-hmm.
sixth. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, we are so excited, as per usual, to be joining y'all on another week of sports and culture. Hello. um,
Holler.
so one thing I would love to talk about, Fahim, before we get into it is preseason of the NBA is here. Okay. I think we're all excited. And I do think there are a couple of things that I want to like make a joke of. So there was this there was a meme that I shared on Instagram as well. And Fahim, I have a question for you. Okay. This meme had a picture of the Memphis Grizzlies. It has Marcus Smart, okay, John Morant, and Desmond Bain, right? Legion Hoops asked the question, who's stopping this squad? Question mark in the eyes. Like, hey, this squad is tough. Fahim, guess what the answer was?
Who's,
Who's stopping the
no, I don't
squad
know.
of the Memphis
Who's stopping the squad?
Grizzlies?
I know the joke's coming, but I don't know. I don't know. Who's stopping? Go ahead. Who's
Instagram
stopping it?
Live,
Oh,
because John Morant's in it. Um, I was like, these guys are insane. So anyway, now I asked you a question last week through true or false. And so I'm going to ask you another question this week. Again, this is from
mhm.
Playmaker Hoops. Who do you think has more 3-point shots in a single game? Do you think it's Steve Kerr or do you think it's Manute Bol? Who you got it?
Uh, when you say shots or like attempts or makes, does
So made
it?
3-point shots.
it so, well, obviously the answer is Manute Bol because there are two extremes here. But I'm just wondering, how
Exactly.
does Manute
This is a
Bol?
given.
Yeah, well, but how does Manute Bol hit more threes in a game than Steve Kerr?
Yep.
Good.
Mini Bull had 6 threes in a single game, while Steve
What?
Kerr had 5. Not too
What?
shabby, but it's just crazy how Mini Bull had 6. That's what I'm shocked
Yeah.
about.
Wow.
So,
He had six.
um,
Wow.
my last question for true and false. True or false? Shaq was 6'4" at 10 years old. True or false?
I'll go with true. Why not?
Yes, it's true.
Oh yeah.
Shaq was 6'4". Now my
Six
nephew was
four
10, and he knows. I think I'd be nervous if my nephew was 6'4" right now. He'd be like
at
towering over me.
10.
But
At
imagine being
10.
10.
I, yeah. I was 6'4" at 16.
Yeah,
But the
that's
only thing
tall.
is I just never stopped growing after 6'4". It's like when I was 16, uh, like at 14, I was like looking eye level with everybody. Off, the summers, come back next summer. Like, oh, I'm a little bit taller than everyone else. At 16, I was like clearly taller than people that they didn't. But that was my cap right there. I thought maybe I maybe get to 6'6" or something. Nope. At 16, I just never grew another inch. So
Never. Well,
so those.
it was you were capped. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mm.
Man.
All right. Yeah, good trivia, Nelly J. So got one for you. The NBA app, they had their GMs, NBA GMs. It's a survey
Mhm.
that they put out. They do this every year.
Yes.
Uh, guess we're finding what's happening with this year's crop. Just kind of interesting. Let's discuss this real quickly, okay?
Hmm.
So first of all, let's give the context. So it's the NBA app GM survey. They got 4 different categories. First one, who will win the NBA Finals? There's 5 teams that seem to be getting the most love. So top 5 would be uh, Boston, Denver, Milwaukee, Phoenix, and the Clippers. Those are the 5 that seem to get most
Denver,
buzz from NBA.
Milwaukee,
Yep.
Phoenix, Clippers.
Mm-hmm. And the percentages, it's top heavy. So you have 33% for Boston, 33% for Denver, 23% for the Bucks. So we'll keep them kind of in the mix, those top three, 33, 33, and 23. But there's a big dip for the last two, being 7% for Phoenix and 3% for the Clippers.
Mm.
We got Nelly J.
Yeah, I mean, I think for this, I mean, first of all, the NBA GM surveys is always wrong. Okay. They're always wrong. Like, I don't think they've ever predicted anything correct. So I'm not going to really take anything personal because this is all based on opinions,
Right.
perspective, based on, what they think could happen. Like last year, I believe the survey, I believe Brooklyn Nets was the most favored last
The
time.
Nets. Okay.
And Celtics was 11%. So I see that like, sorry, my bad, the year before that. So the
Mm-hmm.
year before last year, so 2021, 22, the Brooklyn Nets was 72% favored. Last year, the Bucks was 43%. And now this year is a tie between Denver and Boston, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boston was last year. So I mean, they're never correct. You know what I'm saying? I actually think it's a
Mm-hmm.
curse if they vote for you, to be honest. I don't know if they've ever voted for the right thing. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think Boston for me it's a championship or bust year for them. They have way too much. Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, KP. Yeah. Championship or bust. Period. If they don't make it to the finals for him, a huge blunder. Clippers have been on pressure. Milwaukee, yes, I think they're also equipped. They're contenders. Who were the other two teams you got? Denver. I think Denver
Phoenix.
has a team, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the four teams, right? Denver,
Yeah. And there's Phoenix was the other one.
the Suns. Nah, they ain't
Yeah.
got enough for a playoff
Oh.
run. No,
Okay.
no. I'm not buying Phoenix. Sorry. They got to prove to me, man. I'm sorry. Their center is not enough. Mm-mm. The centers in the West are so good. I don't think he's good enough. But who knows? Maybe Kevin Durant can overshadow that and
Mhm.
help him out. But man, I'm not convinced with that team. I'm sorry.
So is
No.
there any team that's not on this list that you think should be getting more love from the
Yeah.
GMs? Any team? Like a sleeper that you could throw on here real quick.
I'll say Philadelphia. New
Philly.
coach,
Okay.
Nick Nurse. They have a good
Hmm.
squad. Maybe Embiid wants to make
Hmm.
a point, be healthy.
Maxi has a breakout year,
Maxi
right?
has a breakout year.
Right,
They
right,
picked up Kelly Oubre. They picked
right.
up. They still have Melton off the bench. They have a
Hmm.
good 1 through 8 squad. Pretty
Harden,
good depth.
Harden,
Harden, if he
if
stays,
he's
I
still
think he might
there,
go to
right,
Clippers.
right.
But
Hmm.
Clippers may give Philly some stuff back, right? For
Hmm.
Harden. So I think Philly's a sleeper. Now, are they going to go far? I don't think so. And to be honest, another sleeper, just because I'm throwing them out there, is Miami. Any team with Jimmy Butler always over exceeds everyone's expectation. So
Yeah.
I think Jimmy has given us enough, like to say, you know what, he wills teams, he helps other team players get better. We've seen it happen before. He helped Gabe Vincent get a paycheck. He helped Max Strus get a paycheck. Like, yeah, I'll always throw in the Miami Heat because they're just always an X factor for some reason.
Hmm.
Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, but I do think, Philadelphia for me definitely is a sleeper. How about you?
Hmm.
Any teams you wanna?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Oh, how about sorry? Are the Lakers in there? I think the Lakers
No, they're
too.
not. They're not.
Okay,
That's yeah,
Lakers.
yeah. I was when I was running through my mind of teams,
Mm-hmm.
Lakers crossed my mind, but I don't know. I don't. If
80.
I were to pick one, I don't know if they'd be that one team. I just still don't
Mm.
think they've cracked that. Um, you know what you said with Miami, that seems fair, especially in the Eastern Conference. Um, outside of that, you know what, Sacramento could be maybe making a push this year, possibly. They haven't really done it very much to upgrade on the off season, but if they have the same core, right? And I think they overexceeded last year, so I think maybe. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, I mean, I'd like to say Dallas. I don't really think Luca
Oh,
and Kyrie have enough going on
no,
there.
they got no defense.
Um,
They ain't got no defense. There'll be a game of
right.
no defense and
Mm-hmm.
just scoring. Yeah.
Right.
And plus their
So
5 and 4 is not enough for me.
yeah. So outside of that in the Eastern Conference, I'm not seeing it. Maybe so. I guess Miami would probably be it. What you said with Philly, I'm not mad at that. Also, Philly would definitely be the one. So I think we're all on the same page with that one. All right,
I,
let's head to the
I,
next.
I want to
Okay.
add something too, just
Hmm.
so you know, top in terms of like we said, like the actual percentages, because I'm looking now at like the full count. Um The Eastern rankings is also interesting. I don't know if we're going to go to that right now, but that's also interesting how they rank the Eastern Conference and Western Conference would be like. So
Well, that's
that's
not seen
also
on this
very
list here. So
telling.
go ahead, run it real quick. Go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, so I'll do top five teams in the Eastern
Sure.
Conference. They voted top five: Boston number one, two Milwaukee, three Cleveland, four Philadelphia, and five New York.
Wow.
Knicks, six Miami, seven Atlanta. Yeah. For Western Conference, they have
How
Denver
did
one, Phoenix
hmm,
two, Lakers three, Golden State four, Clippers five, Memphis six, tied for seven, New Orleans and Sacramento, and ninth and 10th is Oklahoma City and Dallas. So they're saying Minnesota will not be a top 10 team, and I disagree.
hmm.
I think Minnesota will be top 10.
Shame
So
on me when I said sleepers. I think I might. You mentioned Golden State. They slipped my
mhm.
mind. Why not? The addition of Chris Paul could be a interesting dynamic. They already have the pieces. They got Wiggins. They got Draymond. They got Clay.
That's all they
Kind
got.
of the final push.
And
Yeah.
they're all old.
Yeah.
And Fahim,
Yeah.
I don't know if we saw what Steve Kerr said, but he's playing Clay at the four this year.
Oh, okay. For Clay at the four, that's not going to work. I think
Thank you. And Wiggins at the three because Clay can't move like that. He
right.
can't
So
guard
what
the
he's
he can't
he's
guard the
going to
three
look
and he can't guard the two.
he's going to look to Clay to kind of stretch the floor, but which will be good on the offensive end. But on the defensive end, if he has to guard a
Thank
front
you.
court player, he's going to get exploited. So,
My issue with
um,
Golden State is like Sacramento. They're gonna have great offense, but their defense is
mm,
not going to be good.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So
Okay.
anyway, it's very similar.
Mhm.
But to your point, they again, Western Conference has a lot of like good backcourts for him. So to me,
Yeah.
they all equate out. Like Chris Paul, Steph, Beal, Devin Booker, Luca, Kyrie. They have backcourts. The issue
Mhm.
is, to me, is going to be who has the best front court, and I
Mhm.
think that's why Denver, Laker, they got length, they got size, man.
Yeah. Mhm.
New Orleans Pelicans, if of course Zion could be healthy,
I
but I
can be
really
healthy,
think
right?
instead of scoring, all the teams can score.
Mhm.
They all have that. I think Clippers and Denver have defenders and they can defend well. And that's why I think they're going to be an X factor because for him, in playoffs, but the better defensive team wins. It's been
Yeah.
proven the last 5 years.
Mhm.
So, like, shoot all you want. But if you can't make a stop, yeah,
Mhm.
in that
All
seven
right.
game series, it's going to be
Um,
tough. You got it.
all right. So we got let's see. So we got four more. So we'll try
Mhm.
and go through this quickly. Here we go. Next one is who will win the MVP? Uh, Joker, Giannis, Tatum, or Luka? The percentages seem to be heavily toward Joker, going on back to back with 43%, Giannis 20, Tatum 13, and Luka 10. Anything feel off with that, or are you good with that?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Mhm.
He's the reigning champion. Back, I mean, both him and Giannis are both back to back MVPs, and they're both champions. That makes sense
Mhm.
to me. Jason Tatum and Luka have had great seasons, but I think most valuable, I think they're also in the running. I think for Jason and Luka to surpass either of Giannis or Nikola Jokic, they're gonna have to have a better season than them. And I mean more than scoring for him. Giannis and Jokic affect two stats. Jason
Mhm.
Tatum affects one, in my opinion. Luka affects two. He has assists, he gets scoring, but his team was never really, I'm saying, push over the hump. So I think for them to overthrow Giannis and Nikola or even Embiid, I think Embiid was snubbed, respectfully. Um, I think those three, Embiid, Jokic, and Giannis, are the ones they're chasing. I think everyone else is just has to have a spectacular, crazy year, and the team has to be number one to surpass those guys,
Okay,
personally.
so I'm gonna throw some real quick. So I think someone who's not on the list, Katie, possibly could be because I think if Phoenix does well, because that's the team actually. Well, if Phoenix does well, I think it's going to lean toward KD as being the leader, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
when he was on Golden State, where he kind of leaned toward that. So I think that one. I also think if Dallas does well, Luca would probably be a higher percentage because he isn't as much as he's playing with Kyrie. It's going to be Luca's team, and so I sleeper with that. I would probably say uh, someone who's on the list would be KD, but I also think that on this list, Luca probably has a higher percentage to be an MVP to Tatum. Um, though
And for me,
Boston,
I think Embiid overall, everyone you just named.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean that's fair.
Joel. Yeah.
All right. Next one.
especially now that he's playing for Team USA.
Yeah,
You
true,
know what I'm
true, true.
saying? Oh my gosh. He's an American now,
Yeah,
American
yeah,
citizenship
yeah,
now.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm
USC is
saying?
going to
Oh
be all over
man.
him now.
Oh boy.
All right, next one. Who's the best point guard in the NBA?
Oh,
Uh,
they're gonna say Steph. I
yeah,
already
of
know
course.
that.
That's
Yeah.
Steph
Everyone
number
knows that.
one, Luca two, uh, Shea three, and Dame four. But it's heavily Steph at 83%, Luca at 27, Shea at seven, and Dame at three. Anything with there?
I mean, Steph has had this category for the last how many years now? The last I
Mhm.
think the last 3 years it's been Steph. So I mean, I don't know. I think yeah, he's always been like I think he was 57 before, 72 last year. Now he's what? Yeah, I mean, this is yeah. I'm not even.
Mm.
I mean, the man broke
So
the
what do
three
you
point.
think though?
You know what I mean? But
Do you
again,
do you
I don't
think
think Steph's a
this
point
year?
guard, respectfully. And even this year, in terms of how Steve Kerr is playing him, he's playing Steph at the two. But hey, what
Uh,
do I know? I think
mm,
Steph is more of a shooting guard than a point guard. But it is what it is.
okay. Yeah, well, I'll land with that. I mean that's fair. I think Dame at number three. I'm sorry, at number
At
four with
four,
3%. With 3% could be a little low because I think, like, remember, Dame has never really got a chance to play with this kind of talent. You surround Dame with talent. Maybe the numbers won't be there, but the impact, much like Drew Holiday when he played for the Bucks, he had really
yeah,
impacted his teammates. So I think if Dame can impact his players or teammates more, perhaps he can kind of revitalize his career after being injured last year, right? So if he can stay healthy, this could be a good change for Dame. So, he
yeah.
also
And
should.
keep in mind, last
I'll,
year Chris Paul and Trey were top four. So I think Trey was snubbed, to be honest,
mm,
respectfully. I think Trey is more of a point guard than
mm,
and so is Chris Paul.
mm.
But I think Chris Paul playing with Steph Curry might hinder him a little bit, but I think not hinder him. I mean Chris Paul in terms of because he's the point guard of that team now. Steph is now the two. That's already been solidified.
Mm.
But I think Trey, I think is also a top point guard. I think
If you
I
had to
think he
replace
is.
one of these three, Luca, Shea, or Dame, who would you replace?
I'll remove Dame easily.
Remove Dame. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, with Dame.
All right.
Like again, I love Dame, but I mean, Dame is great. I think his numbers are going to go down playing with Giannis. It's not going to be the same. And we've never seen Dame play with an actual superstar before.
Mm,
Because to me, I think Dame is a natural number two on a championship team. He's always had the ball, always had the green light. Now let's see how he plays with other guys that are stars too. We're gonna see. But I,
mm.
I mean, I just think Trey. I mean, to be honest, you can't go wrong with Dame or Trey. I just think that um for them to say that I think Trey will have better numbers. If this is a list of who have the best numbers at this position this season, I can say Trey will have better numbers than Dame this year.
Mhm,
More assists and more points. I think so.
mhm. On
Yeah.
that same note, I think Luca would have better numbers than Steph this year. I think so. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Who's the best small forward in the NBA? Tatum, KD, Luca, LeBron, or Kawhi?
The GMs, and this is
Which
why,
is
and they get to vote on this. Oh my gosh, take away their freaking job.
so they had
How's Luca a
Tatum.
small forward? What
Yeah, I
what are
know.
these guys
Well, and
doing?
that's the thing.
And Fahim,
This
this
is
happened last year too. They put
uh,
Luca as a small forward. It's like, do not watch. Do you know how basketball works?
well, I mean, regardless of where they want to list players, that's cool, but I think you got to be consistent. Like you can't
Exactly.
how you gonna put a player is in the point guard position and then also put him in this small forward position. That's just it's
Laughing
weird.
stock, man. These guys,
Anyway,
these, these guys are laughing
continue.
stocks, man.
We'll
Uh,
continue with this list. So,
yeah, sorry,
um,
I'm not repping on the GMs, but come on, if you think Luca's a small forward, I'm not sure what y'all are watching. I'm not
okay,
sure.
okay.
I mean, I'm not paid for this,
So,
but man,
so they had
okay.
Tatum with 47%, KD with 20, Luca with 17, LeBron with 13, and Kawhi with 3.
Yeah, I mean, take
On the,
away Luca, this list is okay. I think Kevin Durant is still number one small forward,
mm,
but I have them having Jason Tatum there. I'm not mad at it either. I
mm.
think LeBron and Kawhi, yes, I think those are. I mean, I have no argument. Like those
This is
to me are the top four minus Luca. And to be honest,
so this
it's
is
the exact same order as no. Last year they had Kevin Durant first and Tatum second, but Luca, I'm not sure why he's on this list. So
So LeBron, year 21 at 13%, and this is from the GMs.
Mm-hmm.
So is that speaking to I guess the the front offices of the NBA actually conceding that LeBron, father time may be catching up with him
Mm-hmm.
at 13%. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of confidence that LeBron is um, the guy in the league anymore at the small forward position. Go ahead, Nelly J.
Yeah, the fact that he's on the list, that shows respects, and that shows that they really
Of course.
respect what he does.
Mhm.
So I'm not mad at it. I just think that, you know, I think it's quite hysterical that Luka's on this list. Apparently, Luka is a mix of Magic and Kobe, and now he's a small forward. Like this is why fans like
Mhm.
us don't take a lot of these analysis or not, like seriously.
And lastly, who's going to win Rookie of the Year?
Victor, Victor,
Wembanyama,
Victor.
Scoot, or Chet. They have Wemby at 50%. They have Scoot at 27 and Chet at 20.
Too low for Victor.
Uh,
85%. Listen, there's no way the
yeah.
NBA Fahim is not
Mhm.
going to ensure this guy win the MVP. Rookie of the year.
So
They need it for the business. They need it for
yeah.
the league. It's pretty much already given, right? Unfortunately, Chet, the team that
Hmm.
he's on, that's SGA's team, not his. So he's not going to be number one option. He's going to be third or fourth, depending on how they play. Scoot is going to be a lot more passing, getting guys involved. They have better scores than him on that team. So yeah, like Victor's slam dunk. I don't even know how anyone else can get it. The only way Victor does not get it for him is if he cannot play, if he's off the court because of injury. But if he's
Mhm.
playing more than 60 plus games, that's his award already.
So I was saying this is going to be interesting this year with the Rookie of the Year race because Scoot with Dame leaving is going to have a green light, right?
Not really. No,
No,
I don't think so.
you think
There's
Anthony
Anthony
Simons is still
Simons,
right? Yeah,
DeAndre Ayton.
yeah.
There's other guys that been there that
Mm.
have been number one or two options. Scoot is more of a like Scoot is not going to be like I'm scoring first. He's going to be looking to pass, looking to create shots, being athletic. But Scoot isn't no prolific like I'm dropping 30 every night. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like
Mm.
I think
I
he's there to like facilitate, and I think he's there to like get other guys involved because Aiton is there. He's the highest paid player there,
mhm.
not Scoot. So why would you give like I think Aiton will get more ball. Jeremy Grant's there. There's a lot of guys on that team for him. Like Scoot
Mm.
is coming in to play point guard, but I don't think that's Scoot's team.
Mm.
I think we're gonna see whose team it is this year, and Scoot has to prove that is a team. But I don't think automatically that's his team off the gate. I think it's guys with egos, guys there that have a lot more tenure on there that's gonna want to fight for that spot.
Mhm. So I wasn't saying like in regards to his team. I just think without Dame being there, he's a point guard, right? So he's gonna have the ball in his hands a lot. So he's gonna have a lot more freedom because it's not like he's like you mentioned, if he was a big center like Aiton, who had to depend on someone to get them the ball, might be harder.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that without Dame there, with being the point guard, you have the ball in his hands a lot. I think he's just gonna have more freedom to do a lot more things. And like you mentioned, like he's an athletic guy. I think he could impress. He's gonna have he's gonna have more opportunities
Yeah.
to impress. I think.
No, I think I like Scoot, fan of his, but he's not. Nothing he does will top Victor for him. Nothing.
Mm,
I mean,
mm,
he could be averaging 20 and 10. Victor will be averaging probably 20, 10, and like 5 blocks or
yeah,
whatever, or
yeah,
like
yeah,
three
yeah.
blocks. Like it's not
So,
even close. Like the way this league kind of gave the mantle to Victor so quickly before he came in the league, like I haven't seen it since LeBron, right? So I'm telling you, unless I remember, even wasn't LeBron his rookie year, Carmelo had a better like in terms of his team going to the playoffs, and he still didn't win it. Like I think
mhm.
certain awards are just even like last year, Paulo. We all knew that was Paulo's award. No one was taking that from Paulo Banchero. You know what I mean? Like certain guys, they got it. You know what I'm saying? So unless they're hurt, it's just hard. You know what I'm
So this
saying?
could be very much like because with Chet, I think there's not as much of a gap between Chet and Victor.
I agree.
I did see their preseason the highlights from when they played in the preseason game, and they were going back and forth, back and forth. Looked very interesting. Um, this could be very much like Donovan Mitchell and is it Ben Simmons? I'm pretty sure those two. Remember, one was out for a year. I think Ben Simmons was out with an injury.
Yeah.
So and then he came back after his second year, but since he didn't play his first year, he counted as a
Mm-hmm.
rookie. And they kind of went to the wire. I think this could be a lot closer than maybe people think. With yet Chet having the extra year off and coming in and actually being a rookie.
Yeah.
I do agree. I
I
think
like Chet, but Chet isn't number one option. So his numbers will not be even close to Victor. Like
mm,
I don't think this is a thing of talent, who's most talented. It's the thing of who's gonna have the most impressive rookie like resume,
yeah.
right? Who's gonna like for him, they're all in the West Coast, all of them. So they're battling every month for rookie of the month. We know based on past winners, you have to win at least two or three each month.
Mm.
So
But got
Victor being number one option, scoring everything, the offense is built for him. He is a
mm,
franchise player. The other
mm,
two are not. So
no.
I think it's like they're competing on different levels here, right? Like if Chet was a franchise player, if Scoot was, then I'm like, yeah, but they're not. So I just think
No.
that, Victor just has an unfair advantage. That's why I said
Right.
the only way they can, I'm not saying that they don't deserve to. I'm saying it's unfair. Victor has a way better starting the race at like half the yards. And then on top of that, like the only way they will win is if Victor is not playing. He has
Right.
to be off
So
the court for them to even win this reward. That's all
so
I'm trying
back
to
to
say. I'm
what you're
not saying they're
saying
not good
about
enough, but it's like Victor he's a franchise player. He's a league superstar already.
and yeah.
Like that's just a different level. It, it's
So
it's, it's kind of like with sorry, we continue. It's kind of like when LaMelo Ball was going against Tyrese Halliburton that year, and Tyrese had a great campaign. This guy balled out with Sacramento. He was amazing. Anthony Edwards, amazing. Those two for him, amazing. I think Amen had a better second half than LaMelo, but guess who won? LaMelo Ball. Why? Not because LaMelo's more talented, because it's like the name, the media, the brand. That's all it is, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like after that, I'm like, okay, great. They feel for the guys that the media likes, the league likes, and that's gonna be Victor.
here's a possible scenario though that I think it could happen. You were just mentioning about, you have to win a certain amount of rookie of the months.
Mm-hmm.
As the season goes on, it's like we'll see how this plays out. In an ideal situation, Victor is going to get more used to the league and just get better and be able to dominate. Or there could be the flip side where he maybe being a number one option that playing on a team with no talent around you.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps teams will be able to kind of figure out ways to stop him or be able to game plan. It's a lot easier to game plan for a team when you're really only dealing with a young rookie like such as
Raheem,
him.
how do you
Yeah.
game plan for Victor that's 7'4"? What do you do? There's nothing like this is like a 6'2" guard. This is a 7'4" mammoth. There's
Mhm.
no game plan of stopping him. Nothing. There's nothing. No one's big enough. No one's tall enough. Now, if I think yes, the only thing you may do is go in front of him. He will get all the calls. So you can foul. Like, what's the game plan for? All you can do
What about
is just beat
physicality now,
them.
LJ?
Huh?
Like physicality. Not
Even
exactly.
physical.
He's gonna have.
The man dunked on Chet. You saw that. He like
Yeah.
like again for him. My
Yeah.
thing, the game plan for Victor, I think, is just play better than them. Play better. But I think there's no game plan is going to stop Victor.
Okay.
Right? There's no game plan. Like he's 7'4". Like he's so tall, right? And even fine, you say, oh, maybe we don't allow him to come in the key. We saw him driving inside and no one's stopping him. And these guys are bigger than him, stronger than him. You know what I mean? Like, and fine, you stop him, he gets the foul call. He will get every whistle for him. Like this league, like I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like this is not a typical rookie. This is a different like mammoth. I remember
Okay.
when LeBron came in. I remember, and you know what I mean. This is remind me of that. He's gonna get all the calls. Refs are gonna be like, "Oh, Victor, media, Victor." It's done. Party done. You know what I'm saying? Now again, he may have some bad games and odd games, great, but 7'4" French international player. We know the league wants that, loves those. Again, Chet and School will have to average 30 plus points or something crazy. Something crazy. But to me, like even Toronto, how do you scheme for Victor? We'll probably put Jakob on him. Jakob is like 4 feet shorter than him. he put his hands up, Victor will go above him. Like you double him, you're too small. Like this is basketball, right? Like the taller you are, the better. Now, if people were his height, I agree with you, Fahim. You can scheme and do whatever. But with this one, again, I'm curious to see how they scheme against him. But man, scheming against Victor, I think the only scheme is to not let the ball touch his hand. That's the only way. Is
Okay.
deny, 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 and pray to Lord.
Wow.
But Fahim, if I'm the Spurs, I'm throwing the ball high in the air. And guess Fahim, guess what, Fahim? Guess who got there first? The taller guy. Like it's like it's nuts, man. This guy was jumping to the rim for him, and I'm like, is he jumping or is that a step? I don't even know what it is. He's so tall. Man, anyway.
All right. All right. We'll see how this plays out.
Yep.
Um, all right. Yeah. So shout out to Bleacher Report who actually posted this.
Well,
Uh,
NBA for doing it. The Bleacher Report just shared it, but the NBA,
shared it on,
their
posted
yeah,
on. Okay.
it's their survey, it's their everything. It's their annual GM. So, but yeah,
Okay.
Bleacher just shared the data that they put out.
All righty. All right. So Nelly J, let's go to For the Culture.
For the culture, we would like to highlight individuals for the culture. And today we get to highlight someone that I call the GOAT, okay? Mr. Jeffrey, Micheal Jordan. So, we've had Jordan Fahim probably once a year in our For the Culture. That's no coincidence, right? He's doing lots of amazing things. And I think he's a trailblazer when it comes to post basketball career, how to get it done. So, Micheal Jordan Fahim was announced this past week that he became the first billionaire athlete to make the richest of the rich list for Forbes. Woo! Now, not Fahim, black athlete. No, not, basketball athlete. He is the first billionaire athlete, period, point blank. It's not reliant on race, on creed, nothing for him. To make it with that $3 billion. He was ranked 379 for him. Wow. Don't I feel poor? And, folks like Elon Musk, you name it on the list for him. So, it's definitely a huge feat. Now, the reason why, for those who, is it just Nike? No. He actually is a partner at 1000 North, which is a high-end restaurant on the Jupiter waterfront. And the Chinchorro tequila brand that lives part of the time. So he actually is not only into sports and retail, merchandise, all that stuff. He's also into restaurants and high-end ones, right? So, and tequila brand. So for him, I wasn't aware that he was part of tequila brand or a restaurateur. So I learned that because I was like, how do you get 3 billion? But of course, for him, on top of that, his endorsements with brands like McDonald's, Gatorade, Nike, they all earned him an estimated 2.4 billion over his career, right? He also only made 94 million as an NBA player. Now, Fahim, we spoke about Jaylen Brown making how much a year? Yeah. Micheal Jordan made 94 million in his 15 NBA season career. Okay. And his annual check for royalties from Nike is about 260 million. Okay. As per Forbes. So again, this is huge. This is massive. Again, for him, he beat out Gretzky, Tiger, Serena, all these guys. Even golf players, all these guys are huge, but he's the first athlete to ever make the list along the sides of Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, you name it. But the big check came from him selling his co-ownership with the NBA Charlotte's Hornets. So Fahim, big up to MJ making this list. What's your thoughts? You got it.
Yeah, just the fact. So I'm actually surprised that an athlete hasn't made the list already. I mean, it's kind of fitting that it's Micheal Jordan because of our generation. Can't think of a bigger global athlete than Micheal Jordan. I mean, we're talking Ronaldo. Ronaldo's another one that I thought maybe, he'll probably get there. We will get there. I do see that LeBron's on the list, but I mean, what more can you say about Micheal Jordan? He's done everything that you can really expect of somebody to hit the $1 billion club, right? So
Yep. And for him to
shoes.
clarify, this is 400 richest Americans. So
Okay.
this will not include
Oh, would
other
not it be
countries.
right?
No, this
Okay.
is the Forbes 400
Yeah.
richest
So in
Americans. So it's the
America,
first.
athlete. I'm just trying to think if there's any athlete that I think
I, I
would.
was I was gonna think only Tiger Woods can equate to that, but Tiger Woods has
Mm-hmm,
doesn't own a franchise. They never
mm-hmm,
like I think that sale. They said was the second highest sale for NBA team in history, right?
mm-hmm,
So like his portion of the ownership of that team.
mm-hmm,
So yeah, I don't think Tiger has anything that was 2 billion that was sold. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like that's a
mm-hmm.
lot.
Uh, Coming up next, I would assume LeBron is going to be touching that uh,
How
sometime.
do you think you touch it? Because again, it's 3 billion. This is not 3 billion. So I mean,
Well,
I think LeBron, to your point, could be the next athlete, but I think before
right.
him will be Tiger Woods, though. I
You
think
think
Tiger
Tiger?
has a lot. Remember, he's starting his own league.
Mhm.
And he got a couple of investments. But do you think LeBron will get there before Tiger? Like, I mean, on this 400 richest Americans, what I mean.
Mm. So I would still say I think yes. I just feel like LeBron is being a lot more aggressive than Tiger for but why don't okay, just Google you take Tiger, I'll take LeBron, and we'll see where they're at currently right now, and then we can see who's gonna get there first. I got LeBron. Just 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, I also think Forbes has a list already about this. But I did
Well,
find Yahoo Finance. They actually have the top or the wealthiest athletes in the world. So they have the top 20 list. This was published in May 2023. Okay. So number one is Jordan. Again, we're not surprised, right, Fahim? Number two, though, is Ion Turiak. He's a Romanian billionaire, a tennis star. He also played ice hockey for Romania. He's an International Tennis Hall of Fame, has 23 career titles. He competed in 1964 Olympics before my time. But yeah, he's number two. Number three is actually a Danish writer named Anna, and I won't say her last name, Kasperzak. 32-year-old, competed in 2012 and 2016 games for Denmark. She's 1 billion. Who would have thought? After that, we got Tiger Woods at 4. So he's at 800 million net worth. So he is above LeBron. And I'll skip Dwayne. The Rock is number 5, 800 million as well. Magic is 620 mil. We got, and then of course I'm gonna go down to LeBron. He's actually at 600 mil. So he got, he's not doing too bad though. He's
is
up
that how
there.
many mil? I missed that. How many was LeBron?
Oh, so let me go back. He's 11th, 600 million. And that's with his,
600. So he's
yeah,
200 million behind Tiger.
yes, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Um,
So, I mean, his
so
Nike, Beats by
Tiger,
Dre, and Coca-Cola and Samsung. So yeah, but yeah, he's 200. I mean, remember, Tiger
I,
said it before him
I
though,
still
too,
think
right? Tiger has been, is
right.
it, I'm on the same
But that's what
time,
I'm
but there's
saying.
so much
That's what I
money in
think.
golf. And Tiger been doing a lot with, like that he was so dominant and he invests in a lot of stuff
Yeah.
too. So, but I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
And
I still kind of feel.
Magic is 20 million more than him. Magic is 20 million more than LeBron. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm still leaning toward. I think LeBron is gonna pass Tiger. I do think, like you said, done it in less time, and I just feel like LeBron is really being aggressive. Not saying Tiger isn't, because he's clearly amassed quite a cash pile there, but I just feel like LeBron is really like he's playing, but he's really focusing and playing another game outside.
LeBron will make his chunk for him if he was to acquire a team, an NBA team. That's how he could surpass. So he'll have to like go into that type of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm saying when I think he's aggressive. I think LeBron, uh, obviously his NBA is not going to get him there, but for the stuff he's done outside the court, man, he's really going after it. Really diversifying. Um, But yeah, so well,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
I
Shout
mean,
out to
amongst his
MJ.
peers, he's definitely the leader because I
Mhm.
think he's probably the youngest person on this list. Floyd Mayweather is 450 mil. And Shaq is 400. So yeah, amongst his peers, he's definitely up there, right? He's number one amongst his peers for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
But I just think like Tiger, and MJ, they're the first to do it, in their sport. So they will always kind
Mhm.
of have that advantage. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Well, shout out to MJ once again.
Yes. Big up to Michael Jordan, literally being the first athlete, not first
Woo!
black athlete, not first, those asterisks, no, first athlete to ever make it on 400 richest Americans. And he's 3 billion deep. So big up to him, a true inspiration to not only everyone, but his fellow athletes, his fellow peers, and to anyone that's looking to have a post career, after sport. I just think that there's been, to your point, Fahim, I think MJ created the blueprint, and LeBron and Tiger followed. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's Magic followed, right? All these guys after him saw what he was doing, Shaq, and it's amazing to see that there's like legit about 5 or 6 guys and black athletes that are the most 20 richest athletes in the world,
Mhm.
and they're people of color. So if that don't make you want to push yourself and do what you can, man, I don't know what is. So big up to Michael Jordan.
Mhm. Most stuff. All right. So now, Jay, let's close this out with our last topic of the night, which is that's absurd.
That's absurd. Fahim, girl, what was absurd this week? What was absurd? Ah,
The NFL, they fined Tyreek Hill $7,000 for not wearing socks on a play in a game. Absurd.
absurd. So, okay, is there any medical reason why they find him? This is really odd and it's very
Yeah.
absurd.
Well,
Like, yeah, break it
I
down for
think,
us, Fahim.
well, I'm guessing it may have something to do with their uniform protocol. Like uniform, you have sponsors. Perhaps it might be just breaking the dress code. I just think it's an absurd that. So I understand why they have dress code for players. Sure, I just think it's absurd that if someone's not wearing socks, they're fined $7,000 for not wearing socks as part of the dress code. It's absurd.
That is so absurd. And to your point, you're correct. Like, this is a uniform violation,
Mhm.
per reports. Wow, I didn't know socks was a mandate.
Yeah.
But now we know.
Uh-huh.
And Hill apparently has been fined 100K this year already, and seven
Oh,
thousand of it is the socks.
is it a one-time violation with the socks? Is that it? Like that? Is he picking a different
Yeah. So
article
on,
every
on
Sunday?
Instagram, on
Uh-huh.
social media, he wrote that the NFL finding me more than 100K is classic NFL, and followed by team no sock. That's what he said. And he's been fined repeatedly this season for uniform policy violations,
Hmm.
but that the total is actually less than 100K.
Hmm.
Although that's a lot of amount. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're being fined close to 100K for uniform violation, sir, just wear the uniform.
Mhm.
Hello. Like, so so for him, maybe the $7,000 was more like, bro, we told you before, you're not doing it, so now we got to make it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So maybe this is more of a lesson, like, hey, stop doing it.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, apparently this is all uniform violation type things that he's being fined for. But he said his first touchdown in that Broncos game where they did destroy my Broncos 70-20. That was pretty
Mhm.
embarrassing. He wasn't wearing any socks at all on that first touchdown.
And
But
and
what he
was
said
that the
was
game?
he was
Mhm.
getting an IV and he didn't want to be late for the play. So I
Mhm.
didn't have time to put on my socks.
Wow.
So it wasn't like he purposely did it. It was like, oh, I want to be there for my team. Like, his intentions were correct. It's just that, and for him, who's watching these athletes foot like that? Like, is someone at
Exactly.
home
Yeah.
just like the entire goal is to watch players uniform and find them? Man, Fahim, I don't know what it is for you, but I think people are getting a bonus off these fines. There's no way. Fahim, you can't take your job this seriously, Fahim, to
Mhm.
really find a player,
Yeah.
a
Seven
Tyreek
grand.
Hill, $7,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
That person, whoever fined him, must be getting a commission cut for this, man. This is Fahim.
Mhm.
His socks. I
Mhm.
watched that play and I wasn't watching his socks at all. Like,
Yeah.
how are you even pick a, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I
Yeah.
think it's so extreme, but I guess he did break the rule. So Tyreek, put some socks on, bro.
Hmm. On the way out, I didn't know this until maybe even 2 years ago, which is odd. Um, I have a friend who coached hockey, and I don't know how this came up, but he was telling me that hockey players apparently don't wear socks in their skates because it gives them a better feel on the ice. Something that I thought was just, well, one, I didn't know that. I just kind of assumed if you're gonna wear hockey skates, I'd assume socks or some kind of something. But apparently it's comfort. It gives you. It's kind of like with a car when like you're hugging the road. Apparently it gives you better grip and just a better feel on the ice with no socks on. So he says a lot of players in hockey don't wear socks in their skates.
Wow.
Yeah,
A
I didn't
fact
know
that I
that.
did not want to know. Now, when I watch hockey, I'll be thinking how bad their feet smell. Thanks, Fahim. Appreciate you. And your friend, whoever told you that. It's a fact.
All right. All right, Nelly J. Let's put this episode in the books.
Y'all, that was the Good Rookie Show.
Yeah, yeah.
So, y'all, again, thanks for joining us for another week of the Good Rookies podcast. Honestly, like, it's always great to have our friends chat with us, join us. Any thoughts, questions, please definitely let us know. As y'all know, it's time for our shout outs. So I want to do a shout out, quick shout out. Teresa Weatherspoon, Hall of Famer. She will become the next head coach for Chicago Sky in the WNBA. So congrats to her. She was an assistant coach for the Pelicans last season, but we all know what happened with Zion. So I'm happy that she's going to a better situation for herself and for her career and can now be a head coach. So big up to her. I also want to give a shout out to women sports. So game 1 of the WNBA Fahim was on Sunday, October 8th. That was the most viewed finals game since the year 2000. Wow. Big up to that. They had 729,000 Fahim. And that was the same Sunday as NFL Sunday. So many of us were like, oh, why would they have a game on NFL Sunday? You can't compete with the NFL. Well, guess what? Despite that, it was still the most viewed since 2000 finals. So big up to the WNBA, big up to all those great athletes. And yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. I'm gonna end with this, actually, a little trivia. There's a term actually in hockey if you're skating without socks on. Guess what the term is? Guess what they call it?
Oh my gosh.
Stinky
feet. Stinky poo-poo feet.
It's called skating in the buff.
Oh gosh. Is there a shout out? What the hell? Time for shout out. Skating in the buff. What? Oh my gosh. Guys. You can't let it go, y'all. He cannot let this go.
In the buff.
Oh gosh. He cannot let this one go. Jeez. Thank you. Yo, their feet must. Anyways, the corns on them toes, boy. Out of mercy.
All right. Put this episode in the books.
Yes. So y'all, that's the Good Rookie Show.
Yeah.
If you had a good time and enjoyed yourself, please like and subscribe. And tell friends to look for and Fahim.
We're on all platforms if you're looking for us. You know what it is. It's a Good Rookie Show. And we out.
Hey.